This is starting to stream to 5 different platforms out there. I'm Jason Brenizer. I am the host of the Phenomenal Future program. We're going live 365 days in a row. I am on day 24, and I am bringing all kinds of news to and information and actions and mindset and amazing stuff to artists out there who really want to take charge of their careers, actually not have to have a second job, be able to weather the storm when we have all kinds of weird downturns, whether that's the economy or people have to stay inside because of a pandemic or who knows what else the future will bring us. But we want you to have resilient careers, and we want you to be able to have amazing connections with your fans. And let's go ahead and just cut out the middlemen so that you can have that one-to-one relationship with those fans and they can support your awesome career. We're going to talk a lot about blockchain, NFTs, smart contracts, Web 3.0, and of course online marketing around all of that kind of stuff. If that scares you, well, then you don't need to be watching this channel. What I'm looking for are artists who are technologically savvy, who aren't afraid to maybe learn a little bit of this stuff, or at least wrap their heads around it and put a team together that can help them put some NFTs out there in a variety of ways and give some amazing, really deep experiences for your fans. And of course, keep growing that fan base from now until whenever you want your career to end, which may be never, which is awesome. So today I'm going to cover some news that the band Muse has, they have chosen to release their next album on the Polygon-based NFT platform called Serenade. So we're going to look at Serenade today a little bit. It's an interesting new platform. There are probably 20 or more different music platforms out there that are catering to the whole NFT space now. They're on a variety of different blockchains. They're also on some on level 1, some on level 2. I'll describe a little bit about what that means. But it's kind of like, everybody's starting up something new. And just like in the Web 1 era, when you had the .com, craze, and then the bubble burst, and 90 whatever percent of companies went by way of the dinosaur. We're going to run into that here, but that doesn't mean we should just wait and sit on our hands, because the thing is, the stuff that you're going to learn now, if you learn the fundamentals, my artist friends out there, my phenoms, if you learn the fundamentals of what you can do with NFTs and really kind of how you're going to build them to create these experiences for your audiences, the tech can change a little bit. The programming language that they use for the smart contracts, or which blockchain you're going to be on, that can change over time. But like I said, we're going to teach the fundamentals, but still, it's important for us to kind of scour through what's possible now so that you can start, dipping your toes in the water and really, be on the forefront here, like Muse. Now, they're technologically savvy, most definitely. They've been at this kind of stuff for a long time. In fact, so much of their music has those themes in it. It's not a surprise at all that they would go down that route. As I said at the beginning, they're putting this on Serenade, which uses the Polygon blockchain. So Polygon blockchain is a level 2 blockchain that sits on top of Ethereum. So it's still Ethereum based when you think about it. That's at least where the data is eventually stored and secured. But the cool thing about the Polygon database is that it's already proof of stake, as opposed to what Ethereum is using as proof of work. And so you're going to hear a lot of people throwing around, crypto isn't eco-friendly. And there are aspects of that are true, but even the proof of work stuff, when you compare it to some other things like driving a car or eating I don't know, some sort of processed food, it probably is still a lot less. But, that's a lot of these places are just, NFTs are jumping on the green revolution of course, because it sounds good. So you got that. You got that going for them, proof of stake. That also makes the transactions a bit faster, more efficient, and cheaper, which is good. So if you're doing transactions exclusively on Ethereum, what they call gas fees, the charges for actually having your work validated and having it put onto the block as individual transactions, that those gas fees are very high right now. Hopefully that will change a little bit when Ethereum moves to proof of stake here pretty soon, probably before the end of the year. But for now, it's pretty interesting to be on a layer 2 and still be secured by how strong the Ethereum blockchain is. Let's see here. Oh, this is really funny. So I had read that Serenade's, quote, one notable feature is that the platform doesn't require users to create a crypto wallet before purchasing NFTs. They basically let you purchase them through a credit card, and they will set up a wallet for you automatically in the background, a cryptocurrency wallet. So I would say that that's somewhat notable in that there are a lot of people out there who would love to, help us, maybe help support Muse. Do they need any more money? Maybe not, but to participate as an Uber fan and get one of the 1,000 NFTs that they're putting out in this series, some of those people that want to do that aren't going to be, cryptocurrency savvy. So the fact that they can buy something with a credit card is, I bet you those are going to sell very, very quickly. Yeah. There's also what I would consider a couple of things here that I would say are notable. So some of the articles that I've read, they're scant in kind of the information that they're putting out there, but I've tracked down a few more things. One is that it's called the Official Charts Company, OCC, in the UK. They kind of run the top 40 charts in the UK, and they've actually made NFT albums like the one Muse is putting out eligible for calculating in the charts, to say what's actually being sold and what's moving up as far as popularity. Now you might think that 1,000 what they call digital pressings instead of like a vinyl pressing, a digital pressing isn't going to move the needle very much. But that's what Muse decided. They only wanted to put out 1,000, probably because it makes it a little bit more scarce and probably makes it so that those fans who really want to pay the $29.20 or whatever it looks like they're going to be charged for that initial minting instead of printing, they probably want to really just maybe give those fans some special experiences down the line, right? If it's only 1,000 people, you could say anybody holding one of these NFTs, if you come to our show, you get to be in the special VIP corral, on the side of the stage or, front of the stage or wherever, at a given show. And you would think, of course, of the 1,000 people, they're going to be distributed around the world. Not everyone's going to show up to every show. So it's not like they would have to cater to a lot of people for that kind of experience in this way. But that's one thing that they could choose to do down the line. Oh, flash your NFT, have it scanned in, and yeah, you can come on in. Or maybe you can jump the line. If you're waiting in a ridiculous line, you have VIP access and you can get into the concert quickly. So there are a lot of little things like that you can do with NFTs to really incentivize and reward your fans for participating in something, unique like this. It's 20 pounds that they're listing the price for those NFTs, which right now is about $24.50 in US dollars. I'm going to actually switch over here so you can get a little handle. Let's take a look at what Serenade looks like. And like many NFT marketplaces, especially the new ones, but almost all of them really, the functionality is very slim. Again, this is very you know, early web version kind of stuff that we would expect. These people are going to market, you know, with a very minimum viable product. They're like, it does one thing, it's clean, it's not buggy, send it out, let's get people starting to use this. So if we scan through here, we can see the kind of, you know, artists that they're highlighting. Coda Banks, I don't know who that is, but you might. You can start collecting. If I click on this, I'm basically going to be able to shop all. There's an interesting artist here, Troy Kassar Daly, who is selling one-offs of actual digital art that he's produced. So I don't even think there's music associated with these. No, not at all. So he's selling them for, it's an edition of one, so no copies. And you can buy it, like I said, card or crypto. And a little description. The artist is, of course, writing a little bit, you know. Tells us a little story about his great-grandparents, old camp that he lived near Red Rock, near Corindi Beach, blah, 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 right? I don't know. I like his art. Actually, I think it's pretty. This series, this one's sold out. Maybe there was only one. Again, my watering hole. So cool. You can see musicians are on Serenade, but they're not just selling music. They're selling other kinds of NFTs. So that's interesting to note. You know, so many of these NFT marketplaces might specialize in one type of art and still allow others to pop up because they want to work with those artists. You can see they've partnered with a lot of companies that I know nothing about. The Amity, Affliction, Young Ma, Jungle, Hypnosis, Coda Banks. So right now, I think when they say partnered with all of these individuals or groups, it probably means that maybe this is like Reservoir as a record company or a label. They're probably only inviting artists right now. This is not something that just any old person can jump on their platform and start, you know, pushing their music or art NFTs out there. Sorry, I'm speeding through here. They just give you a little bit of description. Artists can create their stuff here. Fans can collect their stuff here. Communities will form here. I think we've seen those themes before on other marketplaces that I've shown you. Some of these artists here, you can see Coda Banks has done 3 releases so far. Gabriella Cohen, 2, The Kooks, 1. It's interesting to see what they've done. They sold out of their Ooh La live at the Dublin Olympia. I don't know how many they actually put out. I mean, one release may mean, you know, multiple copies. Again, like Muse is doing 1,000 copies. And then, well, here, I should give you just a little sample of Coda here. So it's just, you know, sexy picture. And you see, oh, this is a tune. You love me cause I'm strong and I ain't no fool for you, baby. Don't be pulling this. Yeah, you owe me so many answers. Okay. I'd say it's quality music. Why not? Selling her stuff for $17.50. She's only doing 50 of them in this edition. So it's not like she's trying to break the bank here with her NFT releases. I think she's testing the waters, just like a lot of these artists are doing. They're just seeing what their fans will and won't buy, how fast they go, how slow they go, and all that kind of stuff. Let's see. It doesn't look like this is sold out, and it doesn't give a date on when it was released. And that would be interesting to know, like, oh, has this been available for, you know, 20 weeks, or is it 2 days? I guess it favors the artist not to put that timing down there. Unless there was a countdown clock and then it would go away. That would be an interesting way to build some scarcity. So if any NFT marketplace developers are out there listening to this, watching this, I bet you that would be a good function to build some sort of scarcity. All right, you can join the community by getting on their Discord. course, you can sign up here at the top and sign in. And then I wanted to go to the bottom here. This is one thing to note. You see all of their social connections, Instagram, Facebook, Discord, Spotify. All of these are Web 2 systems. They don't have anything on Web 3 yet because the social media platforms are in a similar state to the NFT marketplaces. They're in their infancy. And so, they may be first to some of those platforms, but they may not want to put a lot of energy into them until they know they're going to stick around. And, maybe they're expecting a certain user base, and there's no sense in putting a lot of energy into stuff if if they're not going to get any traction with potential fans. But I think they would do well to eventually choose one here in the next 5 months to start putting out there, just to say, hey, we are friends of the broader Web3 space and blockchain space, because there are a lot of diehards out there that you might be able to draw into your application here if you were posting on those social media. Again, trying to help you, all of the people out there in the development space, not just the artists here that I'm trying to help. So let's look at the FAQs, because there's some interesting stuff in here as I was looking at this. If I look at the company's goals, that might be a roadmap of the kinds of things that they want to release. Like right now, they don't have an internal marketplace. You personally can buy, essentially mint something new, but they don't have anything that shows up on a resale. So that's probably what's going to show up in there. But more often than not, you're going to find also press releases, things that just make the company sound really good about what they hope to do, and it ends up being a lot of vaporware. That's a term in software when you just have a lot of talk, a lot of hot air, and don't have any results to show for it. I do want to go into the artist section here. There are 7 articles in here worth looking at. And why Serenade? Okay, we'll skip that. Why should I care about digital collectibles? I think this one has some unique stuff. Don't sell your catalog, monetize it. Creating a recurring and stable new revenue stream. I would agree with that. Use digital collectibles to promote new music, tours, and merch. So I've talked about this a lot in the videos already that I've posted, that pushing out your NFTs to a rabid fan base that wants NFTs, they're going to buy them, and then they're going to let their friends know. They're going to share that they got this, and it's one way to get your new releases out there. So if you did a pre-release even as NFTs when the actual album wasn't available, okay, you have a time delay. That's another kind of perk that someone who buys the NFT and gets the album, the entire album, like Muse is doing. Well, what if Muse didn't actually then have the rest of the album available on streaming services for another month or something? So it would be just those individuals that have access to it. It'd be pretty cool, right? That would be a really neat perk. Let's see. And what money do I stand to make from Serenade? This is a great question. So each NFT platform is going to be a little bit different. Their initial offerings are the first time a collectible hits the market, the artist gets 85% of that sale. So 15%, that's a pretty high percentage compared to a lot of the other marketplaces I've seen that the marketplace is taking from the artist. I'm not really thrilled with that. But on the flip side, any resales for fans to fans of those same NFTs, the author is going to get 15% of that sales price. So you can see that they are taking a fair amount up front, but you're getting more and more on the back end if your NFTs end up kind of growing in value, or at least hold value, and people want to trade them. I think the other thing to note here too is this is it. There are no choices here. It's 85 and 15. But that doesn't. Smart contracts can be written any way you possibly want. Like, you literally, as an artist, could work with a smart contract programmer and launch the stuff from your own website, and you could retain 100% of those first sales. There's no marketplace because you are the marketplace. So a contract can be written anyway. What I'd like to see at marketplaces is this ability for the artist to go in as they're creating something on one of these, we'll say, paint by the number builders at some of these marketplaces that offer that. Not all of them do. Actually, very few do right now. That they would be able to just, in a drop-down menu, pick the percentage that they want. Oh, I want, 95 and 5 or something like that. Yeah. And then the real power would be the artist being able to negotiate with the group that's making it to say, yeah, your cut should be a lot less. So like on OpenSea, I think they take 2.5 to 3% on any sale that happens through OpenSea. And then the artist gets whatever the artist gets that was defined in the smart contract for those resales. It would be interesting to see if someone like Muse, they're a heavy hitter, they might be able to negotiate even less. That the marketplace would be like, oh yeah, I'll only take 1% because I want you to push this out on our site. Bet you that's going on. We just don't see it behind the scenes. Let's see. Why should I care about digital collectibles? What can I create on Serenade? Again, I've said this before in other lives that I've done. I'm going through this. I scanned this a little bit, but I didn't look at the entire site. I wanted to show you kind of my thought process of going through these sites to say, this is how I would analyze whether this is a site for me, right? Is there other type of music on there that might align with my music? Because if those other bands are drawing fans like that, I might get new fans out of it if our music is similar. But if I'm on a classical music NFT site, if there is such a thing, and I make reggae, that it might not be the best place to put my music, right? Because those are two different fan bases, more than likely. All right. So audio, of course, is their big thing. Leverage new tracks, outtakes, demos, where copyright can be navigated. Music makes for highly collectible and lovable or loved NFTs. You can immortalize your greatest onstage moments, video footage, songs that are happening, stuff that's backstage, even interactions with fans. And that would be pretty cool. Deconstruct or broaden your tracks with stems. I've mentioned this before, and this one is actually one of my favorites of what musicians can do with their NFTs. So imagine if let's say you make electronic music, and everything is done in Ableton Live, and you have just 140 tracks, and you have just millions of stems. Okay, not millions, but a lot of stems that make up the entire track, and you may work on different versions, so you may have remixes, all that kind of stuff. So you can imagine the stems would stack up a lot. Wouldn't it be interesting to release as NFTs, these 8 stems go out on this NFT, and these 15 go out on this one, and this doesn't have the singing tracks, but this one does, and your fans get to basically take those stems and potentially do remixes and add stuff that's missing. Like if they don't get a bass track, well, they're going to have to come up with a bass track. That would be really cool for them to be able to do that. And then wouldn't it be neat if there was a competition associated with that, and all of the people who submitted their remix versions of your stuff, that might get pushed out onto all the streaming services, may become its own NFT, and they may be able to reap some rewards from that. Maybe the winner of each of the tunes that you're putting out that way would get a percentage cut of all the future sales because of the work that they did on the remix. That's pretty cool, right? Maybe it's 10%, maybe it's 15%. I don't know. I don't know what's fair. I don't know what you want to do, but that's a great way to get people to really get engaged with your music in a whole new way. And that's kind of what they're talking about here. Of course, bespoke artwork, So, marketing assets as a relevant contemporary format. That's an interesting way to put that. Album covers, maybe tour artwork, photography, video rushes, yeah, cultural moments. Artists can be making their own visual art or different types of art. A lot of people who get into one type of art are multi-talented. That would be cool. Convert behind the scenes assets into collectible items. And then redemptions, this is that stuff I'm talking about. Rewards, deep experiences. NFTs can have physical merch that you get, digital experiences that strengthen the online community. That may mean they get access to a virtual event as a VIP, or just only the group of people who have NFTs can get on an event with the band. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So there's a lot of good stuff here, I think, that Serenade has done on their articles. I haven't seen quite this amount of information on any of the other websites. Most of it is just kind of marketing copy, and it sounds really good. But Serenade is actually trying to give the artists some ideas here about what they can possibly do, not just the one and done kind of what everyone else is doing out there. I like that a lot. So I have a feeling that might be one reason why Muse has jumped on board, because it sounds like Serenade, because they're inviting artists to join, not allowing just anybody to do it, is that they're working really closely with them and maybe doing some special things for special projects. It's kind of an agency model in a way. They're going to take those big clients and probably do a lot of deep work for them. It makes a lot of sense. How do you create digital collectibles on Serenade? They got a little video for you, get signed up. Yeah, so you can see here, as I've been saying, Serenade hosts a curated roster of musical talent across all genres of music. It's that word curated that's the most important to look at here. So anybody can sign up to buy, but not anybody can sign up and probably get certified as an artist. Yeah, each artist can be confident that in joining Serenade, they are entering a room of like-minded career artists. We love emerging, established, and historic artists and are keen to bring anyone in between onto Serenade in a careful manner that preserves their integrity. I'm pretty much sure that's actually preserves Serenade's integrity and the integrity of the other artists. So in a way here, I think, as curating, to me that says gatekeeper, and onboarding in a careful manner, kind of gatekeeping as well. But this is the hard thing about gatekeeping. So when Amazon decided to open up book publishing to independent authors, that anybody could upload their books and sell them, and there was no checks, there were no checks and balances. There was no way to. They were just like, anybody can publish your stuff. That was awesome for artists and people who just didn't want to, play the politics of trying to get a book deal. But there was probably a lot of junk that got posted very quickly, and I don't know how that's worked out all that well for Amazon in the long run, nor the customers, because if there are millions of fluffy books or poorly written books or poorly edited books, is that really good for clients? I don't think so. And so there's a fine line here between just opening up the gates completely and also empowering people who are new at the game. So I don't know how you strike that balance. I think there are going to be marketplaces that will cater to all kinds. So I would say, if for some reason you as a musician, approach Serenade and say, here's my music, I have these NFT ideas, and you get stonewalled, you get put on a list somewhere, and don't call us, we'll call you kind of thing, I'd say there are plenty of other opportunities out there that we can look into and start getting your stuff out. So don't worry. Yeah. How do I actually create digital collectibles on Serenade? So there's a self-service NFT production facility. Artists create wonderful digital assets offline, okay, the art offline, and then upload them into our system to cast them into NFTs. Once you've uploaded files, you can price them, set the sale mechanism. Of course, that's coming soon. That means probably auction type and whether it's just a straight up sale or an auction. Schedule the release, and again, they don't have that functionality yet, and sell them to fans who can purchase, collect, and showcase them. They will handle the blockchain technology so you can do what you do best, create art for your superfans. So this is like the holy grail of any of these companies that really want to make a seismic shift in helping artists or anybody who wants to put NFTs out. It's this ability to handle blockchain technology, not necessarily programming each one as one-offs, because that's expensive. It's going to require a team, and smart contract programmers are not cheap. A little bit less right now with the market down, but 7 months ago I heard of people with very little experience getting hired $500,000 a year for doing that, right? That's crazy. There just aren't enough of them out there. So supply and demand. But like I said, they can't just hire a whole bunch of big teams and throw them at these projects. So what they're more than likely doing is trying to write some software that can be reused again and again and again. And so they're going to limit the possibilities, the type of NFTs that can be made, except for the giant bands like Muse, who can throw a lot of money at something really amazing. All right, so yeah, what are the different ways to sell digital collectibles? I'm having a hard time talking today, a little tongue-tied, so bear with me. Limited edition, that was pretty much what Muse was talking about with their 1,000, or the woman that we listened to a little of her music, sorry, I can't remember her name, hers were 50. Then they have auctions, and I'm wondering what kinds of auctions, because there are 4 or 5 different types of auction mechanics out there. And then open edition, which is an unlimited number of editions available for a limited purchasing window. So, there could be 100,000 of these, but we are going to cap it, and however many sell in a week, that's it. That's all that exists. That's an interesting dynamic. So cool. They really are looking at a lot of the different possibilities that are out there with smart contracts. So I think so far, especially for music, Serenade is, as far as the roadmap goes, they're one of the best out there. And their CEO and creator, Max Shand, is very active on Twitter. So you'll get all kinds of new information and things as they're working on them. Not here on the website, but if you follow him on Twitter, you'd be able to get all those updates very quickly. So, yeah. I think that's it. That's a good coverage for today. Yeah, I'm really, I actually make music. I also write fiction, and I do a little bit of visual art too. Unfortunately, I do too many things, and so I'm that card in the deck, the one-eyed jack of all trades that hasn't quite mastered anything. But I'm working hard. Believe me, I'm working hard at mastering all this NFT technology and marketing that goes along with that. And I'm gonna basically boil that all down to very usable things for you. And I'm creating some courses out there and some programs, and we'll have webinars, and eventually I'm creating a mastermind all around phenomenal future so that artists can really be empowered and take their career to the next level. Whoever watched this all the way to the end, I want to thank you for that. Please subscribe to the channel wherever you're watching. Maybe that happens to be a follow because I think this is going to YouTube and Facebook. They use different terminology. But I don't want you to miss any of the content that's coming out. And also, anytime I get follows or subscribes, whether it's here or the new podcast that's going to be coming out soon, that helps us move up in the ranks, and it helps other artists out there who are just scratching their heads wondering how they can actually have a career in the world of streaming and making $0 dollars per 1,000 streams. We want those people to be able to find us, and with your help, by doing this subscription, by sharing these videos, we can get the word out together and start building this community of phenoms who are just going to take the world by storm. I mean, wouldn't it be amazing if we could have our own NFT marketplace someday that had all of the functionality that we want? That's a big dream of mine way down the line, but I first have to get through the first 365 days in a row of getting these videos out. And like I said, I think I'm on day 24. When I put a title on this after the stream, that's when I'll count the number and see where I'm at. But just like you, the future looks bright. I think we can build a phenomenal future together. If we help our artist friends, and rising tide lifts all boats. So I'm super excited to be doing this for everybody. Thanks for watching. I love you, phenoms. I'll talk to you tomorrow.